What's up, guys? Heisenberg here once again, and I'm here to bring you another beginner's guide to a really fun deck that I've been playing. So the original deck came from Zetalot. You guys have probably seen the Mukla priest that he originally got Legend with last season, and he has since done some other different variations, but this one was based off of one of the original ones that he did. Now, I did make a variation here that I've been having a really good time with. The biggest variation that I've been playing around with here is adding the card Yogg. I started playing this deck a little bit and realized, man, there are a lot of spells going on in this deck. The one thing that I didn't like about the deck is that there really wasn't a lot of endgame. The only endgame that we had was from Elise, really. I mean, other than that, we're kind of just waiting it out and trying to have them, get rid of all their stuff, and eventually we can get them down. But or if we're up against the, some kind of other control deck, as in a warrior, because this deck was having a lot of trouble with warriors. It's basically who could fatigue first. That's what I was at least experiencing. And Elise was one of the only things that I found could beat a warrior. But with the new edition of Yogg, it really adds a new dynamic. It's really fun, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. So just to go over the basic dynamics, if you haven't seen this deck, if you have seen this deck, I'm just going to go over the beginner's guide to it. So if people haven't seen it and they want to know how to play it, I'll give you a little bit of strategy behind it. Once again, I'm not a pro, so I'm probably going to make mistakes. That's okay. If you want to correct me and leave a comment or something, go for it. I'm all ears to any kind of suggestions or any kind of constructive criticism that you might give. So in my opinion, one of the main things that this deck goes against is the fact that early game, we're really trying to get rid of, basically just gain board control. And the way that we're going to be able to gain board control is by using Wild Pyromancer, Norshare Cleric, Injured Blade Master, and Resurrect, and some other spells. Mid-game, you're going to be using the Soul Priest with Circle of Healing to clear some boards, but mainly you want to gain tempo and board control by utilizing the early gameplay cards here, being able to draw cards and being able to clear their creatures and gain board control at the same time. I really like the synergy of this deck. Zetalot did a really good job getting a good amount of combos here that you normally wouldn't put in decks because, as you see, there's really not a lot of high-end cards here. I mean, the highest card is Yogg, and that's just because I put it in. He actually didn't have anything other than, Sylvanas and Mukla and Justicar being the highest, along with Cobalt. So basically, what you want to be doing in early game is you want to be gaining a lot of card draw with Norshare Cleric. And in order to do this, you're going to be comboing it with Wild Pyromancer. Every time you use a spell with Wild Pyromancer, it's going to do some damage to all the minions on the board. Now, technically, that's not actually a bad thing for you, because if it does damage to Norshare Cleric, you can then heal Norshare Cleric or another minion and draw a card because of that. Not only that, but you can use combinations like Power Word Shield to add 2 health to Wild Pyromancer, so when it does do damage, you can do more than just one spell. Normally, if you do 2 spells with Wild Pyromancer, it only has 2 health, so Wild Pyromancer will actually die because of that. If you add Power Word Shield, it adds another dynamic, and especially if you heal Wild Pyromancer after doing damage, and it has 4 health, you can keep doing it. Now, one of the cool things about this deck is Resurrect. Resurrect actually has a really cool feature to it in the fact that if Wild Pyromancer, let's say Wild Pyromancer was the only card that had died, creature that had died this game, right? When you use Resurrect to bring back a creature, let's say if Wild Pyromancer was the only one that died, you're going to be bringing back Wild Pyromancer. Now, what happens is that when you bring back Wild Pyromancer, Resurrect actually counts as a spell for Wild Pyromancer. So that means that when it comes back, it's already doing 1 damage, which is really cool. This is a great way to be able to bring back some of your cards that you might have died, like Northshire Cleric or Wild Pyromancer, that you really want back on the board and you might not have in your hand. It also adds really great synergy with Injured Blade Master. So Injured Blade Master, I find a lot of times, if you can't heal Injured Blade Master, it's not the end of the world. Let's say that you really just want to clear the board. You really want to get board control. And you can't heal it. It's on turn 3. They've already got a couple minions out there, and you don't have a lot of board control. You don't have Wild Pyromancer. You don't have any of your board clears. So you just want to put Injured Blade Master down just so you have another 4/3 creature on there, so then you can start, gaining tempo and gaining board control again. Thing is if you have Resurrect in your hand and Blade Master is the only one that died, when you resurrect Blade Master, it's coming back as a 4/7. It's not actually getting that battle cry of dealing 4 damage to itself. So in retrospect, it could be a really good combination. I mean, sometimes I've even had Injured Blade Master turn 3, and then turn 4, I had 2 Resurrects in my hand. You bring back 2 4/7s. Now, technically, do you really want to use both your Resurrects on Blade Master? It's situational. It depends on, the game, depends on what's going on. But turn 4 to have 2 4/7s is pretty good in my book. I mean, you're going to be gaining a lot of board control and being able to pump out some damage at the same time. Mid-game, you're going to start transitioning into using the Soul Priest, Elise. If you have Elise in your hand, you really want to just get Elise down as soon as possible. It's a 3/5. It's going to be used to gain board control. 3/5 is a great creature to have on the board, especially against something like Zoo or Hunter, something like that, to be able to gain control again. But also just to get that monkey in there. I mean, you're not necessarily going to use the monkey unless you have to. You don't really want to get rid of all these cards that you have because these cards are going to be vital in late game. Mid-game also, you have Shadow Ward Death. I would recommend saving Shadow Ward Death for, depending on what class you're playing against. If you know that they're going to have, let's just go to some of the higher creatures here. If you know they're going to have Ragnaros, you want to save it for that. You want to save it for some of these other higher cards, especially if it's a Cthulhu deck. You want to save it for Cthulhu. You want to save it for any of these higher cards. You also have a second option, though. You can also entomb. Now, depending on the deck, I know that a lot of warriors will they'll actually have the other card that brings it back, the Doomcaller. So sometimes to use the Shadow Ward Death on Cthulhu is actually a bad move because they're just going to be able to bring it back. So sometimes I actually save Entomb for Cthulhu so that even if they do have Doomcaller, it's not going to bring them back because you're stealing Cthulhu from them. One thing that I like about this deck is that it doesn't have a lot of board clears that you normally see. It has 1 Holy Nova. I know the original deck had pardon me, I don't remember what it's called here, but I'll get it up in a second. Excavate Evil, and I took it out. I actually didn't like the fact that it gives it to the other opponent. It's actually screwed me a lot of times when I got board control and they happen to draw it, like top deck it next turn, and then they just clear my board. I don't necessarily find that I need this card either. With Wild Pyromancer and all the spells that you have, and even with Holy Nova combined with Wild Pyromancer, with Soul Priest and Circle Healing, you have a lot of board control. You have a lot of clears, and I just don't find it necessary to have one of those. If you want to put it in, that's fine. I did take it out to substitute Yogg. I'd rather have Yogg for late game. It's been pretty vital in some of the games that I had. Now, this deck is made around Mukla. Now, Mukla easily is one of my favorite cards in Hearthstone. Not only because it has a cool mechanic, but I mean, just look at the card. I mean, it just looks so cool. I like the animation on it. I like the art on it. I like everything about the card. And instead of giving your opponent 2 bananas, you're giving yourself 2 bananas. Which the reason I put Yogg in here is not only do you have 10 spells in the deck, but then with Mukla, you actually have another 2 spells because those count as spells. So you actually have 12 spells in this deck that can combine with Mukla that's going on. Not only that, but the bananas can be very vital in certain situations. Don't think that you should only give your creatures +1/+1. Sometimes, let's say that they have a 4/6, or one of the Twilight Drakes, right? So you're facing up against a Warlock, and they have Twilight Drake up there, and even if they combine it with Baron, let's say that, instead of a 4/7, it's a 4/14. That's a really hard card to get rid of, especially in this deck, because the thing is that you don't have a lot to get rid of that. I mean, the only thing you can do is entomb it. You can't use Shadow Ward Death, so there's not really a lot you can do. So a lot of times, what you can do is actually use the banana from Mukla, give it +1/+1 to turn it into a 5+ creature, and then you can use Shadow Ward Death. So this deck has a lot of timing that you have to be able to think about when you're going to be using a card, when you're not going to be using a card. You don't want to just entomb anything. You don't want to just Shadow Ward Death anything. You want to be able to use the situation that you're in, see the type of deck that you're against, and kind of make the decision before that card even comes into play. You want to know, hey, you know what? I'm up against the Paladin, and with a Paladin, I know that I'm going to be saving it for Tyrion. I mean, it's just I'm not going to use an entomb. One of these entombs is going to be saved for Tyrion. Another one can be saved for Ragnaros the Light Lord. There's a lot of things that you can do. Also, I mean, let's just say that you're facing against a hunter. You want to be able to save Soul Priest and Circle of Healing. You don't want to just use it willy-nilly. That freaking card, Call of the Wild, the only thing that is really going to help you is Soul Priest and Circle of Healing. So you want to be able to save that. You want to be able to do everything you can other than that to be able to clear the board, so then when they do have 8 mana, you already are prepared for when that happens. Now, another thing about this deck that I like is the fact that not only does it have a lot of healing with Flash Heal and Darkshire Alchemist, but these cards can be combined for a lot of burst later on in the game. So if you're going into a fatigue match against a warrior or something, and you know that later on in the game he's going to have a lot of armor. I mean, sometimes I've faced a warrior that had 40 armor by the time the game's done, and I might have 30 health. But the thing is that if he has 30 health and 40 armor, that's 70. I'm going to fatigue way faster than he is. So sometimes I want to save Flash Heal, Darkshire Alchemist, so that this is going to be, 2 of these is 10 damage, 2 of these is 10 damage if you have a Soul Priest. So sometimes you want to use the Soul Priest and then you either use Alchemist or Flash Heal to either do high damage to creatures or high damage to your opponent as well. Justicar is a must. You really can't take this card out. Combining Justicar with Soul Priest has been life-saving. I mean, instead of doing 2 damage, you're doing 4 damage. Once you get Justicar to change your hero power, you're doing 4 damage to either the opponent or their creatures, which can be a huge board control or a push for whatever you're doing. Cobalt, again, a must. 2 of those. You got to have them. There's a lot of tempo decks out there. I tend to want to save them for Flamewaker if I can. But at the same time, against a warrior, they have that new card where it's the 2/6, and if you damage him, he goes up to 5 life. That is a really nice steal for Cobalt. I mean, it's giving you board control, it's giving you defense, it's giving you everything you need, and it's taken away from some of their defense as well. So that's pretty much the deck in a nutshell. I am going to do some gameplay here. Earlier, I was doing pretty well with this deck. The season did restart, and I was messing around with some decks. So we're only at rank 20. So it might not be a good indication of how this deck ranks in higher levels. To be honest, I actually think that it might be doing better in higher levels than in the lower ranks. I tend to find that lower ranks, if you're playing a deck like this, you're kind of at a disadvantage because you really don't know what kind of deck they're going to have. And the thing is like this deck does really well against like some of the meta decks that are out there. And at lower ranks, some of the meta decks aren't even there. So let's do some gameplay. I'll go through what decision making I decide to do, and you can kind of decide for yourself if you like the deck or not. To me, it doesn't matter if this deck really wins a lot or loses a lot. What I really like about the deck, and I think a lot of people tend to lose this aspect when they're playing this game, is that this is a card game, and nerds and geeks, the reason we play a card game isn't to win. I know that's like the main goal for a lot of people, but my main goal is to have fun, man. I mean, I love this game. If I'm not legend, I'm not legend. It doesn't matter to me. What I want to be able to accomplish, though, is to be able to have fun playing the game. And the thing is, if I'm using the same deck over and over again, I'm using freaking Cthulhu Warrior or Tempo or Totem or Freeze Mage. I mean, it just gets boring because these are like the same decks that you see over and over and over and over again. This is a brand new deck. Zetalot did an awesome job making a creative, fun deck, and he got legend with it. I mean, not this exact deck list. He didn't have Yogg and some other things, but I, what I really like about him is that he stays true to Priest, even though Priest has really been very weak in this expansion. Not a lot of people play it at all, which is one of the reasons I do want to play it because I like playing out of the norm. I like doing things that other people aren't doing, and I gotta admit, I've been having a blast playing this deck. It's really fun, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so we're playing a shaman. The type of decks that we're going to be facing against a shaman most likely are going to be totem or aggro decks. You don't see any other decks really with them. So Wild Pyromancer is a must. I don't think I might want to keep pulling over just because I really need the board clear. I kind of want to keep Arcanite as well because I want the board clear. I'm actually pretty happy with this hand. You would think that I wouldn't be because of the mana cost behind these, but I'm pretty happy with it. We are going to be drawing cards. Now you do want to be able to try to get the Taskmaster or not Taskmaster, the 4/7, but I'm going to stick with this for right now. All right, so that's good. He didn't have Tunnel Trog, which is good. He could be playing. Oh, he didn't even play. Didn't even have Totem either, so it's interesting. Now, I don't want to just play Wild Pyromancer for no reason. We definitely do have a good combo with Wild Pyromancer, Coin, Power Word Shield, and even Flash Heal. So I'm going to keep it because I want to be able to clear the board if I need to. And right now, the thing is with Wild Pyromancer, I can do 3 damage, and my Wild Pyromancer is actually still going to be alive because of the Power Word Shield and because of the Flash Shield. I think I'm going to play the Wild Pyromancer here, not to clear the Flame Tongue, but to clear at least this and to get him on the board. I do want to do 2 damage, so I am going to be using coin because I do want to also heal. We can actually keep it like that. I don't actually need to heal him. Now, technically, I could have waited. I mean, 2 damage from the totem really isn't that big of a deal, but it is getting the flame tongue down a little bit. All right, he's going to kill him. Not the end of the world. Definitely want to get something on the board here. Probably just going to use Flash Heal on him. I could save it for Soul Priest, but we're just going to get some board clears here. He could be using Hex or okay. So we will be using Cabal on the flame tongue totem next turn. As of right now, we're probably just going to play Darkshare Alchemist, get the heals up back up to 29, and get some board control up here as well. So one thing about this deck is that I find that I don't ever really feel in a bad spot. I mean, sometimes against Zoo, they can do a lot of damage really fast, and then you're kind of in a hard position. But other times, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the fact that I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm going to put the deck list up here too. So we are going to Cabal. Really unfortunate that he had 2 of the thing belows. Uh, from Caballing, just wondering what side. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the right side. If it's not, then that's going to be a serious misplay. All right, so we're going to play Wild Pyromancer with Holy Nova. Are we going to do that actually? No, because it's not going to clear it. We have to get rid of this guy. If we had 9 mana, it'd be perfect right now, but so 2 more turns for Yogg if we're really getting into a tight spot here. Ooh, that was an interesting play. So that's good. Gives me spell damage. Not that I actually need it, but it'll give me card draw. So we can do 6 damage right now. If he's got Doomhammer, that's 10 damage. If he's got Rockbiter, which he's already used 1, so Rockbiter would be 10, it'd be 16 damage. I don't think he can kill us. Well, he could technically kill us if he has Lightning Bolt, which it did seem like he was playing a Lightning Bolt, but he might only have 1 in the deck. It's not an aggro deck, so he's probably not using Lava Burst. The thing is that's what I was talking about these level 20 guys, is that I have no idea what kind of deck this guy's playing. It seems like it's a totem deck, but then he has Evolve. He's got Lightning Bolts. I mean, it's just weird. Text message here. Alright, so I don't know if he just gave up or what he's doing, but okay. So I guess he thought that he had lost at this point and that he really didn't have anything else. I'll take the win. I don't think we were in trouble. I really don't. I mean, we were at 19 damage. She already used a rock biter. We did have Yogg. I'm a little disappointed that we weren't able to use our Yogg. It would have been a pretty big one at that point, but gives that extra little bit of reassurance. Yogg does, you know. I mean, even if he had a bunch of creatures on the board, Yogg can either be really epic or really bad. But with 19 health, I'm not really too concerned about it. We didn't even have any creatures on the board, so it's not like we're worried about the creatures being lost. All right, so warrior, it's either going to be control, it's going to be Cthulhu, it's going to be tempo, pirate. It could be a whole bunch of stuff. Even the new free to play with Worgen. We're not going to have Mukla. We're not going to have Sylvanas. Kind of like having this, but we can get it later. He's not going to be playing anything with 5 or more right now. I am going to keep the Wild Pyromancer. Wild Pyromancer is almost a guaranteed keep no matter what deck you're playing against. Just going to skip the turn here. All right, just armoring up. Just going to skip again. Next turn, we are going to play Soul Priest. If he ends up killing Soul Priest, we do have Resurrect, so not too concerned about it. I do want to get something on the board here, though. So we could do a slam, probably, and then kill it with the monkey. Slam? Yeah, he's deciding if he wants to. Okay, he's just gonna... Seems like a little bit of a waste to do that, but so we are gonna bring it back. Probably just kill the ooze here. Might have shield slam. Seems like he's either... Seems almost like he's patron or... Okay, never mind. Not patron. Very interesting move. He really doesn't want me to have that, So I don't actually want to play anything. I know I can play the Alchemist, but I really want the healing aspect from the Alchemist, so I'm actually probably just gonna pass my turn. All right, we'll get the Justicar out. Make sure to get that healing up. So that's the second Korkron that he's used, so we can eliminate that from... All right, Slam. So he's probably going to play Ravaging Ghoul now, or Execute. That's interesting. So this is why I didn't want to play the Alchemist. Gonna get the healing up after this. Really wish I had Cabal right now. That'd be good. So we could kill two of these, get the Alchemist into one of them, bring it down to two, use Wild Pyromancer and Holy Nova combo to kill both of them. Leaves us with one. It will bump this guy up, so he'll probably be dead. But I think that's a good move. I shouldn't have done that. So that was a little bit of a misplay, but ended up salvaging it at the end by man, kind of wasted the circle of healing. All right, so we're gonna heal that and then steal it with Cabal. Maybe. So he's already used two executes, so he doesn't have another execute. So I feel good about being able to do that. Yep. And he chooses death. All right, so two games, pretty good. Beat. I'm not really sure what that deck was. It actually seemed like it was a Worgen deck, the new Worgen deck. Had all the cards from the free-to-play Worgen from Shadow. I don't know if you've seen it, but pretty cool deck if you want to check out a really awesome deck. It's like a OTK deck, basically just one turn kill deck where you pump up Worgen and he does like a shit ton of damage. All right, we're gonna keep the Wild Pyromancer and Circle Healing. It's probably gonna be another Totem deck. That's great. That's a great card to get there. Kind of feel like playing Wild Pyromancer. It's either gonna bring out one of his Rock Fighters, which will waste one of his mana, and it'll also give me board control. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because I do have the Soul Priest and Circle Healing for board clear. Could be wrong. Could need to just save this and just take the damage. I mean, he doesn't have too much, but I don't want him to get out of control here. So that was interesting. Glad I played it. So he doesn't have anything on the board. If he had Rockbiter, I really feel like he would have gotten rid of Wild Pyromancer with the Rockbiter. Feel pretty confident about keeping the Blade Master on there. That was a really great, great draw to get here. Yeah, we're gonna squelch you. He's he's right though. That was quite a top deck there. So next turn, Justicar, get the healing up. Also get the your power for Soul Priest as well. Wow. He's got a lot of cards in there. We do have some board control though. Here comes Storm. Two, 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 two. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that Tunnel Trog. Man, it's the third Mana Tide. Alright, there's one Rock Biter. Hopefully we get a Cabal. It's not Cabal. Puts him in an awkward situation. He could Hex here. It's probably what he's gonna do. Maybe we'll get to play Yogg this game. That's actually a good trade for me. Hex? Ah, interesting. That's not good. Oof. Oof. So I played the Mukla instead of the Alchemist because we're only 4 down. I did want the spells before Yogg if I could. Second Thunderbolt or Lightning Storm. I don't know why he'd be playing that, but not what he was planning. Trying to increase it by 3. He's probably gonna. It's either that or Rock Biter. He's either playing the totem card to increase by +1/+1 for each totem, or he's playing Rock Biter. Either way, he's in an awkward situation if he doesn't Hex. He doesn't know what to do. So technically, we could just clear the board, but I don't think we're gonna do that. We will, however, try to steal one of those, either Flame Tongue or the Mana Tide. I would have rather had the Mana Tide, but still. Two, don't kill the Wild Pyromancer. Wow. So I think it's time for Yogg there, guys. Ooh, really good for me. Go ahead and play a Circle of Healing. Get that random card. Great. That was great. So I think he. Well, never mind. I was gonna say he wanted to get me down because he probably had Doomhammer and. Should we just Yogg again? Maybe just do Resurrect to see what we get. That's great. So basically, when if Sylvanas dies first, he'll be very sad. Oh, he's gonna hex it. Okay. Yeah, it returns it to life with one, so at least he can't kill the 4/5. Yeah, we're gonna Yogg again. Two, 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 two. Okay. Wow. No. No. Okay. Okay, we could be screwed. Yogg didn't turn out to be as good as I planned. Gonna need to have a really good Yogg next turn. Ooh. So we probably lose this one if Yogg doesn't end up being good. Yeah, we lose this one. It's okay. We got to play 3 Yoggs, which, in my opinion, was well worth it because it was fun. All right, we're going to do one more here, guys, and that will wrap things up here. I hope you're having fun. Overall, pretty good run. We did get the win streak bonus because I had been winning before I started doing this video anyway. So technically, we're going to keep all those. These are all really good starting cards. So technically, I think this deck for today is 5-1. So that's pretty good win-loss streak. I mean, you're gonna lose games. I mean, ultimately, we got unlucky a little bit there. I feel like those Yogs could have been a little bit better, but so this is the dream combo here because Resurrect and injured Blade Master. So we are gonna play the Blade Master. He's gonna kill it, and then we're gonna resurrect it. So hopefully he doesn't have kill a random creature. If he does, oh well. Okay, he did. So probably shouldn't have played the Power Shield on the Blade Master. In fact, definitely shouldn't have. That was a pretty serious misplay considering I had Wild Pyromancer. It's like the main combo card with Wild Pyromancer. So I don't want to use this combo yet because I want to save it for when he uses Call of the Wild. So I'm probably going to use Wild Pyromancer and Flash Shield, just get myself up. He's a chance that he might kill it. Oh, okay, good. He didn't. Good for me. I'm going to heal the Wild Pyromancer with the Norshare, so at least I can draw a card. Not too concerned if the cleric dies here. At least put him in an awkward situation. So next turn is Call of the Wild. So which he's definitely setting up for right now, which kind of sucks, but I don't know why he's thinking. He obviously has Call of the Wild and he's going to play it. Yep. And that is why you save Soul Priest. Could have another one here. If we get through both of his Call of the Wilds, we might be in pretty good shape. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. Ooh, that is not good. We just lost. Oh well. All right, guys, that wraps up the Mukla Yogg beginner's guide and some gameplay there. I hope it was at least entertaining, if not educational. I hope it was educational, but I definitely made some serious misplays there. I'm still learning the deck myself, as I've only been playing with it for one day. So hopefully you gained something out of it, whether it was just having fun watching it or learning from it. But thanks again for watching. And if you have any comments, you can leave it down below and I'll get back to you. But really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.